Welcome back to Desire to Inspire. It's your mama's favorite podcast. Happy June. We're already halfway through the year.
That is wild.
It really is. I was thinking about that the other day. Everybody always says time goes fast. Like, this year is going really fucking fast.
Really fast. And I feel like the older I get, the faster life gets. Like, I feel like every day just kind of the fast forward button clicks a little bit faster.
Yeah, it's halfway. Halfway home. We got a lot of shit coming up, too.
Yeah. Which makes life
Someone
seem...
say too much shit.
Yeah, between weddings and trips and just what life is moves. I mean, yeah, you got a lot coming up, brother.
I forgot about the move, honestly.
How I feel like that's all we talk about when you come over.
Yeah, but now like that it's done, I'm not thinking about it anymore. Like now that everything's like, okay, this is where we're going, this is what we're doing. Like we're not deciding between places. I'm like, all right, cool, it's done. I don't have to think about it. I just got to pack.
Yeah.
Still haven't got those totes.
Have Matt bring him over. You know he would love to.
Probably would, actually.
Now that I sit up higher, I got to adjust this a little bit.
I literally just saw him on Sunday. I should have just had him bring him then. I could have got him out of his car.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, I was just thinking I should probably adjust mine a little bit. It always sounds better when it's like up in my face.
Yeah. I noticed last week mine was a little dull, but that's because I got taller and I sit higher up in the chair now.
Yeah.
The chair actually fits me.
You're going to make me fuck around and get a pillow so that I can be a little bigger. I think it would make my posture better.
Yeah, I felt like
his posture.
I would look at it and it would look like I was just like slumped down or whatever the fuck you want to call it. And so the pillow behind definitely.
I kind of like slunched. It's like slouched and slumped at the same time. I kind of like.
Did we just create a new word? So with all the moving parts, what's exciting you? What's stressing you out?
I actually don't feel stressed right now, surprisingly. I just want to get it done and over with for the move.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm honestly excited. We have a lot of trips coming up. Like every 2 weeks, starting at the last week of this month, I have a trip basically.
Jesus.
I'm going to Columbus for a wedding the last weekend. 2 weeks later, I have a secret trip. I can't say where I'm going. 2 weeks after that, to Oak Island. 2 weeks after that, we're in Colorado.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
That's going to be here fast.
From now until mid-August, I have something like every other weekend.
Fuck. That was me the month of May. Every single weekend I had something. The month of June kind of slows down, but I guess I'm on the road again this coming weekend. But I guess the moral of the story is if you got your shit in order, if you got things in place, when life gets busy, it really doesn't, like you said, it really doesn't stress you out. It really doesn't get you bogged down or like just up in arms about stuff.
The only thing that really I would say is like the biggest factor is runs.
Yeah.
Because August is going to be the big one because that's like official prep, we'll call it. Because I'm in prep right now. Mm-hmm. But that's like when it really starts to ramp up. And I'm going to be gone an entire week.
Yeah.
Because I'm going down like before you come. So I think we're going Sunday to Wednesday. You don't come until Wednesday.
Yep.
Or Sunday to Thursday, really, because she'll leave Thursday. And then me and you go Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah.
Which will be back early enough that I could run that Sunday and like move my long run to Sunday now I think about it. But I still got to get mileage in there during the week.
Yep.
And my friends took off work. It's like they're probably going to be expecting to go. But I hope that I don't know how like their sleep schedule is.
Yeah.
They're night people. Like they work nights.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping like they want to sleep some during the day. And I could go knock some shit out.
Yeah. I mean, hey, you just got to prioritize it and you'll make it happen.
I mean, I have up to this point. We're halfway through the year, no skips.
That is fucking amazing. That was funny that guy that I sent you was actually the guy that's like inspired you to do it.
Yeah. I've been seeing him for a while now.
There we go. That's real in my face. Do you should we talk a little bit about what we're doing in August since it's coming up, or should we wait?
The conference?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about it.
I'm excited. I don't know much about it. I know that you've been. I know the concept around it. But you want to explain a little bit about the conference we're going to?
Sure. We're going to the Do Hard Things Conference. It is hosted by Zach, who we talk about all the time. And it's pretty much him and the pastor of the church where it's held came together and made this group. It's actually the men's group that I'm in. It's called the Do Hard Things Community. So it's kind of like their little branch off thing.
Did he have that name before Nick Bear, or did that stem from Nick Bear? Like,
no, Nick doesn't really say Do Hard Things, really.
Really?
I mean, not the way that Zach does.
Okay.
Like it's like
maybe I heard that from him.
It's basically like Zach's "Go One More."
It's like maybe that's what I'm thinking.
He said it like as a mantra for pretty much forever. I mean, other people do hard things.
Yeah,
like I have a hat that says it just from another brand. So like other people say it, but like it's just, I don't know. He puts it out there where it's more. He doesn't want it to all just be physical. It's like doing like the spiritual and the emotional work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like what he talks about. So we're going to this conference. We actually can get in. I put you down on the list. We should be able to make it. It just really depends, like if we have to take her back to the airport and stuff. But they're doing like a lunch at 1:00 on Thursday.
Okay.
So it's just for like the people in the community and like their plus ones.
Mm.
So if you can't make it, no big deal. We check-ins like this evening anyway.
Okay.
So I don't necessarily know what it would be. This is the first year that they're actually doing that, which it might just be like the guys kind of getting together because none of us have really met in person aside from a handful of us. But yeah, so it's a whole bunch of keynotes. It's hiking. It's ice baths. It's all kind of stuff. I know that the first year, which is the year I went, I missed last year, and this is the third. There's still 4 keynote speakers. It's the same people.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, his wife, this guy Jay, who was actually the first fitness coach I ever hired.
Oh, wow.
And then the pastor, which is PD. But they have breakout sessions now. They're much more in depth, like with different guys. And now like Mike hosts the whole thing. So they have a lot more going on.
Like he's the
MC.
Oh, that's dope.
Much. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Literally the day after the first year, he got a call and was like, yo, you got to do it next year. But he lost his voice the first year.
Really?
Literally, dude, was so pumped to meet this guy and talk to him. He could not speak. Like at all. Like it was hard.
Damn. That's what I'm excited about, and it goes along with what we talk about so much is just being a part of communities, being a part of groups, being a part and surrounded by people that are challenging themselves, that are working on being better, that are pushing a good narrative, that have a good outlook on life. And that's what I'm excited about because all those type of people are coming together for this event, for this conference. And I just can't wait to see how it like impacts me in my thought process, overall view of things that we're working on, stuff like that, to just constantly keep elevating. Because we were texting yesterday and you used a word revised passion or something like that. But I think it's just a continuation and extension. Instead of coming on here and being like, oh, I'm motivated, I'm this, like, bro, it just keeps compounding on each other. Mm-hmm. And like recently started hanging around someone who is also building their own business that's been in it for 3 years, talking to more people about like just going after their passions. And so I think what it's doing is it's exciting me more and more. It's not that like the passion has went away. It's not that this has went away. It's not that I substituted it for something else, but rather I'm seeing what these other people are doing in their lanes, knowing it's not our lane. Like our one buddy that we hang out with, his lane is completely different. Yeah. They are trying to scale and grow their business to just create as much revenue as they can. Ours is a completely different lane. Even looking at the girls and what they're doing and seeing and hearing things that they're working on in the background and what they're looking into, like it's just all extremely motivating and drives me, I guess, to just start thinking differently. And so again, going off of like concepts that I've been thinking about that we'll touch on and that we'll talk about from now until whenever, but it's just constantly elevating what you're doing. It's constantly looking at things and people and hearing what they're saying around you and taking that information while you have that, you know, spark from that conversation, from that conference, whatever it is, and just driving into it and being like, how can I integrate this into my life? How can I integrate this into my business? How can I integrate this into the people around me? And I think that that's what's happening is just like, instead of constantly coming out here and being like, dude, I'm motivated, I'm this and that, like it hasn't went away. It just keeps growing bigger and bigger. So how do I capitalize on that? How do we capitalize on that? How does somebody around us capitalize on that to then push their dreams, their goals, their business forward in a more strategic and thought out process, because you're hearing advice and guidance from other people on what didn't work and what did work for their business or their life and things that they're going on.
I mean, it's quite literally just like, if you see somebody else can do it, then you can do it too. Mm-hmm. And so it's just surrounding yourself with more people who are doing it. It's easier to see, okay, it's a tangible thing now. Because we can have this vision and cast this vision as much as we want. But if no one around us is doing what we want to do, it's going to be a lot harder to keep going.
Yeah.
And granted, like, we're also going on 3 years now, which is crazy to say. Mm-hmm. That's actually really crazy to say.
That is crazy.
But, like, we've had people around us, or at least like I've kind of brought like into your ecosystem, who are doing it in our lane, and most of them are in our lane, but now like you're getting a glimpse into like different stuff, and so I feel like that's cool. But even like with run clubs and like all these people in the run clubs who are doing their own shit, it's not all fitness related.
Yeah,
it's like I'm starting to see different stuff as well. So I think what I said was like I could tell like you had this renewed passion for it. It was like, and like you said, it's not like it went away. But like you can tell like it's more there. And that is gonna come in waves. It's gonna come and go. You're not gonna be 100% all the time.
Yeah,
that's just not realistic. But I feel like I'm that way right now around content, and I think that the reason I'm feeling that way is just because I've been consistent, and that goes back to what we talk about all the time. It's just consistency. I started vlogging with a camera again this week, and it's got me like just not caring to pull out my camera in other places. Like on the run, I just had my phone out, I think for like 3 minutes straight yesterday, like just so I could talk about like the run and like what's coming up for this week. Cause I'm like, okay, my vlog's got to I'm trying to push to 8 to 10 minutes minimum on like these weekly vlogs. Now. The first one I was like, all right, we're short. We're just going to like talk about what's out there. And now like, let's get into them. And so I was just literally walking and talking. There's people walking by. I'm like, okay, this is not normally what I would do, but I feel like it's just opened up, and I'm cool with having it out now. Yeah. Especially being around more people who do it.
Yep.
Like we got we were on a group run Saturday, and Mandy had showed up, so I did like the first 2 with her, and then I ran and caught up to the rest of the group so that we could finish out our long part. And the one girl made a joke because they were talking about, would you shit yourself in a race? Like, would you stop? Or like, how close would you have to be for you to be like, fuck it, I'm just going to do this now? And I think like I'll just give my time. If I was within the last 3 miles and I knew I was on pace, like that, I think I would do it. Like if I'm trying to qualify right now, and the difference between me qualifying or not is if I stop to take this shit, I think I'm going to shit myself. But also, I also said that the first thing I'm doing is pulling out my phone and I'm recording because that's viral. And the girl's like, only you and Phil would go to. It's going to go viral if I shit my pants right now.
You would cross that finish line so like defeated but excited at the same time.
You know, like in Japan, you shit yourself, you're off, bro. Like they're so like everything is so much cleaner, and they just don't want that type of energy there.
I can side with culture,
that, but no, you guys are done off the course. And honestly, if it's within the first like 6 miles, be off the course anyway.
Yeah,
it's not okay. 20 miles with shit on your
that
back?
Would be so tough. I can't even imagine that, because when you're running for that long and you got all those goos and stuff in you, it's just fucking.
Yeah, man.
Well, speaking of running and stuff, you want to give a quick break and pull out our sponsor?
Yeah, I didn't know this was here until.
I want to start talking about it more. We need to start.
We're good.
Also,
I literally said, gotta be careful with the cords today.
Also, protein, but I want to start focusing on getting these segments in here. So, lead us in, baby.
All right, this is Ignition. Are we actually like giving what these are? Or are we just talking about?
No, I would just talk about First Phorm.
All right, so First Phorm. I've actually been using it a ton lately. I'm probably gonna need more soon-ish, but I pretty much strictly use Ultra Performance Ignition for any kind of fueling, but it can be used for whatever. I do it for endurance. Obviously, you use it too because you got it here.
Yep.
But honestly, best subs in the game. I've been with other people. Won't drop any names. But I was shocked at how much more quality our products are right now. I've talked about it before. But yeah, what do we have? DTI is the.
Yep.
It's not a code. It's just a link, right?
Yeah, www.firstphorm.com/DTI. Here's the link below. And then Dylan will also post it in the description.
They're always in the description.
So I've been
click the shit.
Using the vegan protein powder in my first cup of coffee.
So you can get your hair?
Yeah, well, I've always used vegan because whey fucks with my stomach.
I think I have whey, but every time I take it, I shit. So do not take it before you try to qualify for Boston.
I've been putting that in my coffee, and it's been really well. And one thing I will say about their supplements is they blend extremely well into liquid, so you won't have clumps, you won't have chunks.
That's the biggest thing for me, because that's where other ones piss me off.
Yeah.
But I can literally, my blender took a shit on me this week.
Oh, that's
last
sad.
week. So I can't have bananas and stuff in there.
Damn.
But it does help that I can just shake it up and it actually mixes. That's huge.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Love it. Cool.
First Phorm. Get
First
your
Phorm,
shit.
baby.
So I don't hit this accordion.
Yeah.
Accordion.
How long? Oh, you just touched it.
I know, but it's going.
How long are we into this episode?
15 minutes.
Beautiful. So talking about being around people that energize you, that motivate you, being a part of groups, being a part of communities, and just being surrounded by those people that will elevate you to the next level is all well and good. But if you are not happy with yourself, if you're not happy with the direction that life is taking you, it can be very hard to see the positives or even hear the positives that people are talking about, let alone taking that next step to be a part of a group, to be a part of a community. And so whether it's a relationship, it's a job, it's whatever, if you're not happy with yourself, you're not going to perform optimally in those different areas. So I have this little demonstration
Show and tell
that I would like to do and that I would like to put together to try and articulate the ebbs and flows of life in terms of good and bad moments, and show how bad moments can linger when we don't
Guys,
focus.
I've never seen this. This is new to me.
On little things. Because again, when things are going bad, it is very easy to think those bad thoughts. It's just like social media. If you do social media, you could have 100 good comments, but those 3 bad comments that people said will weigh on you. They'll make you think you're a piece of shit. They'll make you think that your business ideas suck. Whatever it is, those 3 comments will overpower the 100 good comments. So I'm going to get my stuff together, put it in front of me, and then I will give this analogy that is based off of a quote. It wouldn't be an analogy. I'm going to give
I think it's just a
demonstration of this quote that I heard, and how I kind of visualized it. And I think it'll be powerful if I can pull it off and explain it the right way.
Well, let's hope you can, bud.
Let's see.
Am I stopping this, or are you just going to keep on rocking?
No, just keep on rocking.
All right.
You can talk if you want.
Right before you actually do it, they're going to watch us like behind the scenes right now. But right before you do it, just hit that camera again.
Okay.
Just reset the thing. That way I don't have to get up this episode. It'd be a nice change. Well, guys, here you will see we have a lasagna dish on top of another lasagna dish.
On top of a baby lasagna dish.
Stacking glass on glass is one of the craziest things I've ever seen.
I know, but it needs to be glass.
All of it?
Yeah.
Even the spacers?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, the spacers didn't need to be. They're just kind of what I had.
I know. I feel like they're going to move. That's my biggest concern.
Yeah. We're going to hope that this goes off without a hitch, but again, we will see. I am very scared.
Me too, because if that thing comes my way, we are screwed. This looks like a analogy we did in my men's group. I can tell that it's not the same, but it's very similar because I feel like I'm going to be pouring things on top of other things.
I am.
Yeah. All right, guys. Here we go.
All right. We're going to leave that there.
Yeah, it's probably a good move.
Alrighty. So, I heard this quote. I'm going to read it out loud and just see what your thoughts are on it, how it hits you. But it made me just kind of have like one of those moments where it's like, whoa, this is true. So I believe it was on the George Janko podcast. He said, Jesus said, you guys are so concerned with your outer cup, but your inside is filthy. What are your like first thoughts, or what do you like? I don't know. How does that like hit you, or does it not?
No, it does. It's the human condition, though. We're more concerned with the way that everyone else sees us and the things that we put out to the world that we don't actually take care of what matters, and that's like ourselves. Because, whoa, my stomach just went crazy.
I heard that.
But, yeah, I mean, the inner work is the real work, and that goes back to what we were saying earlier about doing hard things isn't just the physical shit. It's not just running for 12 hours. It's not getting as strong as you can. It's not all this stuff, but it's doing the inner work. And most of us don't want to actually do that work, unfortunately. It's because it is the harder thing to do. So if we can put on an outward appearance and make everything look like it's okay, and other people assume that it's okay, and we get the likes on social media, and we get all that outside validation, then the inside validation doesn't matter.
Yep.
But
Yeah, when
I do realize, though, that he's talking about it from a more religious perspective, where he's talking about a relationship with God. So, like, you're more concerned about the way everyone else sees you than the way that God actually sees you and the way that you're actually living your life. And I think that goes back to, you can't, this might get real religious, guys, but we've been talking about it at church, and it's kind of been, like, resonating, is like, you can't live a life for God and live for the world at the same time. You can only get validation from one, and if you're trying to be validated by the world, then you're not living the way that you should be living.
I like that. Yeah, it's very accurate. And like to the extent that I look at it is, people go through life day to day, and we as humans constantly meet somebody we judge. We go in somewhere we judge. We hear something we judge without knowing what the full picture is. Like, you hear somebody went to jail and you automatically classify them as something. You hear that somebody went bankrupt, you automatically classify them as something. You hear somebody struggles with drugs, we automatically classify them as something without knowing what else is weighing on them, with what else is going on in their life. And so the way I took this is that we go through life holding things in. We go through life not telling our full stories because we're scared of judgment. We go through life when we're struggling, and we don't show that on the outside because we don't want that judgment. We don't want that criticism. We don't want people to view us a certain way. And so with all that, you hold a lot of things in. And the next thing you know, now it's not only your finances that are struggling, but it's your family and your relationship that's struggling. It's the connection that you have with your immediate family that's struggling, your mom, your dad, your sister. You start getting more angry. Your temper is worse. You're not sleeping as good. So you start eating like shit. So all this stuff inside is not flowing right.
I feel like you're literally explaining me in 2017.
From your body to your mind. And, but then when you go to that cookout, when you're like, fuck, I'll just go and show my face. Hey, Dylan, how you doing? Shaking hands. Oh, life's going good, man. I couldn't complain, this and that, blah, blah, blah. But inside, you're really just like, fuck this. Like, I'm sick of my job. I'm sick of my relationship. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this. And so, again, you guys are so concerned with what your outside cup looks like, but your inside is filthy. And so that filthy to me is all of those things that are weighing on you, all those things that you haven't worked through yet, all of those things that your brain is always telling you you are or you aren't. But on the outside, you button your shirt, put your jacket on, whatever, strap your shoes up, you get outside, and whether it's your neighbors or your friend that you see out, oh, life is good, man, life is good. Yet you are on the verge of bankruptcy, or yet you're at home drinking every night, like whatever that looks like. And so I wanted to do a representation of like how I view this. So we're going to use this as the good things in life. Life is going good. It's all the positive things. And this cup of coffee is all of the bad things. And
I'm honestly so depressed you're wasting that much coffee.
Well, you'll be happy because I made a pot this morning, poured it in another container, and then I made those grounds again. So it was just like reuse grounds. So let's use this as a representation of 5 years. So we'll say that we're 20 years old. This is 20 to 25. This is 25 to 30. This is 35 to 40. Life is going good. We got a job. We graduated college. We're out in the real world. Life is going good. You're meeting new friends. You're having a fun time. No worries in the world. Then next thing you know, you get a promotion. No worries in the world. But now things start going wrong. Your car breaks down. Now you start weighing on it. See how fast that got tarnished? With all of that good in there, that started to change colors. So we're using this again as bad things that are happening. Next thing you know, as you're going through life, we'll start with little things. So you get to work late one day. You let that affect your whole entire day. You forgot your lunch at home. Again, little tiny things that add into this.
I am terrified for
to
you.
make you have a bad day. And so all of these things are affecting the way your day is because your mind is now like, fuck, I was late for work, so I'm just going to have a bad day. It didn't work out, whatever. I forgot my lunch. It's not working out. We'll say that we're in sales and we thought that a big sale that we were going to have was going to come through and it didn't. So now our management's on us. We're fucking stressed out about it. Now it gets darker. But it's okay because we go through life, all those positive things are happening. The weekend's coming, your friends are having fun, this and that. And we notice that this starts to change to a lighter color. This is where it gets scary because if I drop it, we're screwed. But again, life right now in this 5-year representation isn't that bad. There's not been big life tragedies that have happened. You got a job, you have friends, you're just coasting through life. And there's just little things that tarnish the water that don't mean something big. But then life really is going to test you. Next thing you know, you break up with your girlfriend. Now you're very upset. You're in your head. You're this, you're that. It's affecting your mood. You're not going out as much. You're not seeing people as much. It's affecting your work life. So now this gets tarnished because life is so bad. I broke up with my girlfriend. She was the love of my life, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Or I lost my job. And then all of a sudden, now somebody
talking about me in 2017. Huh?
Now all of a sudden, somebody in your family passes away and you don't know how to handle it. So I'm going to use, for instance, my dad. So my dad passes away and this is how my water looked. This is how my life looked. I couldn't see ahead of me. I was struggling. On the outside, though, where it's not as dark, people thought I was good. All of that previous problems went away. I'm not thinking about that sale I didn't get. I'm not thinking about the red lights that I missed to be late for work. I'm not thinking about my boss getting on me because all I can think of is that bad moment of my dad passing away. And as those years went on, as those days went on, there was more and more dark water that I wasn't shining. When you saw me, it was all fun. Freddie's a good time. He's happy. He's this. Oh, when we go out, it's a great time. Inside, I was fucking struggling. And so this 5-year representation may seem like, oh, in 5 years, it's going to clear up this and that. But bro, there are people out there right now, right this second, that just lost a parent. There are people out there right now that just got diagnosed with something. There are people out there right now that lost their job. There are people out there right now that lost their house. But we focus on these milestones in life and we hold on to them because they are so hurtful. They're so detrimental to what life is right now at this exact moment. It's hard to look into the future. It's hard to see what that next thing is, what the next positive thing is. How am I going to get over this? How am I going to move on in life? And this is where it becomes important to just start focusing on these little things. Because as we have a good day, that water is going to clear up. As we continue to stay positive, that water is going to clear up. As we continue to have the outlook on life, that just spilled all over me.
I don't think I go to the third one.
No, I'm not going to. That water starts to clear up.
And 35 and 40, 35 to 40 about to be good.
And so as you continue to dump good water in there, the good things, staying positive throughout the days, looking at the little things, focusing on the small habits every single day, figuring out how you can get over those monumental things or the stuff that happens in life and not focusing so much on this, life will get better. Life will turn around. Life will enhance for you. And so what I'm trying to depict is it doesn't matter how full this good is. It doesn't matter how high your glass is inside with good things. It can be those little mundane things that you just sprinkle in that change that water so fucking quick to have a bad representation. But again, what is affecting you in the short term gets a little bit easier as it goes down. And soon you're not even thinking about this. You forgot that stuff even happened. And more likely than not, you forgot this stuff even happened because of what's going on in life right now. So what I'm trying to depict and what I'm trying to say is focus on the present. Focus on each day individually. Because if you look at a year span, the stuff that you were bitching about in the beginning of the year, say 2024, is not the same stuff that you're complaining about now. It's not the same stuff you're thinking about right now. But we get so caught up that no matter what happens in life, if it's bad, it can never get better. And again, there are some things that are hard as fuck, but those little lessons or those little words that you say to yourself to encourage yourself that things will get better, having a positive mindset, talking in a way that's healthy, not always beating yourself up, not always dwelling on this, not always casting a light on the bad, will continue to pour that good water to then filter out. And then next thing you know, there's a new challenge in life. And it's like, I can overcome this because I learned lessons from the last thing. And so like I've told you before, the worst day of my life, where my life was all this color, was actually the best and the biggest day of my life, now looking back at it. Because again, I worked through that. When I finally started talking about things, when I finally started shining light on those things that weren't that great, when I knew that my friends weren't going to judge me, when I knew that my friends had my back, when I knew that my family had my back, even though I knew this all along, but again, those dark days make you think that nobody's there with you. You have people there with you, and what those people give you will help clear that water, will help clear your brain, your thoughts of, fuck, life sucks so bad. It doesn't when we can get over and when we can start processing the little things. And so it ties back to those habits that we talk about all the time. Those little habits compound on each other. And even when life gets busy, even when life gets crazy, even when God throws something in our way to try and stop us, it's only to make us stronger. It's only to build us up, and it's only to push us to that next level. And so if I could do this the way that I really wanted to a scale, you would see that now this clear makes this clearer. And this gets darker because, again, it's pushing all of that away. And again, you're not thinking about this dark water down here no more because there's so much going on here and there's so much you remember about this that now I look back 10 years ago and I'm like, fuck, look at where I'm at now compared to when I ran home and I saw the ambulances, I saw the cop cars. And then again, somebody else passes away or you find out bad news about your health or something and it pours in, but all that stuff funnels and it trickles away at some point. And so the quicker that we can grasp just talking positively, and I'm not saying big things, I'm not saying it's easy to get over these things, but when we can start putting those little things in our life to clear the inside of our glass, the outside is going to shine so much brighter.
And just stop letting the little shit affect you. The big stuff, there's no getting away from it. That's going to be there and it's going to hurt no matter what. But there's a saying that's a saying for a reason. And if it's not going to matter in 5 years, don't give it 5 minutes. We do so much little shit throughout the day. We are late to work. We hit red lights. We do whatever, and we get a flat tire, whatever. And we just let it affect our day, our week, our people do for a month.
Yeah.
Because all the little things will compound. And if you focus on the bad, you're going to bring more bad to your life.
Yep.
But in the grand scheme of things, none of those things matter. We talked about a few weeks ago. If you were going to die in a week, none of that would matter to you. You would just move on and go do something else that brought you joy. So the big stuff, it's unavoidable.
Yep.
You're going to have darkness no matter what, but you can lighten it up.
Yep. And those little things, again, this thing can be completely clear. But the second you have those bad thoughts, the second you start beating yourself up about those little things, you see how quick it changes that color of that water.
You control if it's getting darker or lighter. It's what are you going to focus on?
It goes back to what we were talking about 2 weeks ago, where you were getting in your head about, job hunting and this and that. And again, you could sit here and be like, fuck this, I'm just going to stop. Fuck this, I'm not applying to no more. Fuck this, I didn't get this job either. Fuck this, I got to the final stages and they tell me that it's not going to happen. I'm done. I'm just going to keep going the way. And then you're going to look back 2 months from now like, well, I better start picking it back up again.
Yep.
And so instead of looking at those down moments or whatever, even like apartment hunting, like people get upset if they don't get the first apartment they look at. People get upset about the car that they wanted so bad, but their bank didn't approve it. Like there's so many things that we just cast light on and shine so much attention that isn't worth it. Again, when you focus on the big thing, when you focus on truly life at hand and don't let those little mundane things bother you, you'll live.
All of the things you mentioned, the car, the apartment, the job, those are the outside glass. That's what people see. That's not what matters. What matters is the inside shit. It's where's your purpose? Where's your passion? What brings you happiness? What are your relationships like? It's not the materialistic shit.
Yep. So I guess we can wrap this one up.
Did you think about like how you're going to get up and move those?
I literally was thinking about this as you just made your last statement.
Yeah, like while you were pouring the last one in, I'm like, damn, he let that second one get kind of high. I was like, because originally you could have just dumped the first one into the second one and been cool. But I'm like, and he pulled it so close. Once he sat down, like he was like, I'm going to leave this here. And then he pulled it up to his lap. Good shirt choice color too today, huh?
Right.
You guys might get to see us go shirtless.
But again, use this representation as the current, the past, and then just the past because because again, this glass is fully dictated, like Dylan said, about how you live your day-to-day life. This thing can be almost crystal clear if you focus on the little things and if you take life one day at a time and don't stress so much about things that really aren't even going to matter. He said 5 years from now, but literally won't even matter after this week. Mm-hmm. And so, yes, the second tier, it's hard. It's still there. You still remember it. You're still trying to work through it. But once it gets down here, it's almost as if like you went through it. And so somebody told me when my dad passed away that, and again, that's such a huge thing. I want to focus on the little things in this demonstration, but somebody told me when my dad passed away that it doesn't become easier. You just learn how to deal with it. Mm-hmm. And it's so fucking true. And so by the time that it gets down here, I've learned how to deal with it. I have learned and went through all of these other tiers to realize that's not the life he wants me to live. That's not the life he wants my mom to live, my sister to live. He wants us to continue to push forward, to live his legacy on, to take all the positive things about him and push those out into the world and always constantly build on that. So again, when those big life things happen, embrace them, go through the emotions, let the emotions shine. But the little stuff, don't let it fucking tarnish your water. Don't let it fucking tarnish the inside of your glass. Just move on from it. It literally will not matter next week or 5 years from now. So let the big things be the big things, but don't add to it. Do not constantly fill your glass with these negative things. Always choose the positive side, no matter how hard it is, to be able to wrap your head around it. You will get through it and talk to people, talk through things. When you hold things in, that water's just going to get darker and darker. But no matter what you're going through in life right now, stay positive, stay consistent. Have the drive to want to get better, to want to do more, to want to be better. Get involved with people that either have went through what you're going through or haven't went through it, and just stay positive. Get outside, soak God's medicine in, live every day to the fullest. And like my dad always said, today's the first day of the rest of your life. Make it count. So rewind that, listen to that back, because it is so fucking true. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. Make it count. Have the desire to inspire. Kiss your mama. And thanks for watching. Peace.
Well, that was weird. That threw me off. I say peace.
I was going to see if you were going to say mine.
I'm not. Bye, guys.